डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Namaskar and good evening, friends. I am Dr. Dhaval Pandya. Welcomes you all from the Chaitanya Institute of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Friends, today we are going to learn about MBA SEM2's subject research methodology. A code is MBA02C204, block number 1, and unit number 5. Unit number 5 is sampling and measurement scaling. First, we'll see the index or detailed syllabus, then we'll try to elaborate. Okay, starting from introduction, then meaning and examples of sampling, then objectives of sampling, then 5.4 types of sampling, methods, then 5.5 meaning of measurement scaling, 5.6 importance of measurement scaling, 5.7 types of measurement scaling, and finally 5.8 characteristics of good scale, validity, reliability, and sensitivity. Okay, so starting from introduction. Okay, fine. In today's lecture, we will try to cover 4 points, that is introduction, meaning and example of scaling, objectives of sampling, and types of sampling methods. Introduction, meaning and examples of sampling, objectives of sampling, and types of sampling methods. Starting from introduction. Okay. Sample is a very popular concept in real world. We take a sample of wheat and assess whether the entire wheat is quality or not. We take a sample of tea when to check the taste of it, or a sample of respondent from a mall to assess their satisfaction. In the world of research, the sample has unique importance, and the same is reflected in various studies. Before we proceed further with this chapter, we will understand the meaning and example of several sample exercises. Meaning and examples. Okay, sample is a representative of population, and the method of select sample is called sampling. A sample is defined as a smaller set of data called population that a researcher chooses or selects from a large population by using predefined selection method is known as sampling. These elements are known as sample point, sampling unit, or observation. Selecting a sample is an efficient method of conducting research. The relation behind a sample word includes cost, energy, and other reasons. Hence, examining the sample provides insights that the researcher can apply to the entire population. Now we'll see the chart or diagram of population and sampling. It's a population sampling, we can easily understand from this example. Now we'll see the examples of sampling samples representing the population. Okay. An internet service provider wants to understand the level of satisfaction among their user for the internet connectivity speed. They would consider 5% of their total users to conduct their study. These 5% respondent are called sample. Second, a a restaurant owner wants to understand the repeat visit of customer to his or her restaurant and consider 250 visitors to fill up form about repeat visit. These 250 visitors are called sample. Third example, the product facility of mobile manufacturer wants to check at what temperature the battery of the mobile phone blast. They consider three batches randomly out of 150 batches that manufactured mobile phone. These three batches are called sample. Okay, so now it should be clear. Now objectives of the sample. Objectives of the sample. It is apparent that the sample always save the resources to the organization, time, energy, cost, and money that company needs to spend while study population is reasonably high than the study of a sample. Typically, a sample is saver of resources. However, beside the resource saver, uh, sample serves to more purpose, destroying nature of experiment and unknown population. First, several experiments the sample is subject to destroy and under such situation sample serves remaining population and the business can use the same for selling. For example, in the example of testing the temperature at which mobile battery blasts, the company needs to check battery to that temperature level when it blasts, and this would not allow the same battery to be used again ever. In such case, just imagine if company have considered the entire population. Surely it is not possible practically. Second, in several cases, entire population is not known even. For example, a biologist wants to measure the average length of crocodiles in their world. Just think of how to assess all the crocodile in the world. Therefore, it is clear that the sample is useful to save time, save energy, save money in cost of experiment that destroy sample under study and for unknown population. After this objective, we will try to understand the types of sampling methods. Types of sampling methods. Okay. Sampling is a technique of selecting sample means individual object or a subject of the population to make calculation to estimate characteristics of the whole population. Various sampling methods are widely used by researchers so that they do not need to research the entire population to collect actionable insights. It is also a time convenient and a cost effective method. We'll see from this chart. Okay, we'll see from this chart. Sampling, random sampling, cluster sampling, systematic random sampling, and stratified random sampling. There are mainly two types of sampling techniques. One is probability sampling, and in probability sampling, it is a sampling method that provides equal probability to each element of the population for selecting as a sample. Under this method, a researcher set a selection of a few criteria and chooses members of a population randomly based on those criteria. All the members have an equal opportunity to be a part of the sample with this selection parameter. This method is considered to be strong method of selection of sample compared to non-probability sampling, as it provides equal opportunity to each member of the population for selection. Also, the researcher is able to get rid of business using this method. However, with the view of use this method of sampling, the researcher needs to have sampling frame. Sampling frame is a complete list of population, like having each and every element including in the list. There are four types of probability sampling methods: sampling, sampling, simple random sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling, and stratified random sampling. Let us understand each of these in detail. First, simple random sampling. It is one of the best probability sampling techniques that helps in saving time and resources. Simple random sampling is a reliable method of obtaining information where every single member of a population is chosen randomly, merely by chance. For example, if a researcher wants to select 6 students from a class of 60 MBA student, he or she can ask the roll number randomly and pick up 6 students. Each individual have the same probability of being chosen to be a part of a sample. Now, second, cluster sampling. It is a sampling method of selecting cluster. Cluster is a group of different or varied characteristics respondent or objects. Like, for example, to select a sample of 6 students from class of 60 MBA student, researcher can divide the cluster into small uniform homogeneous group. Each group is called cluster. It means one strata has one student from BBA, BCom, BE, and BCA graduate study. Then the researcher select sample from each cluster. Now, the third, systematic sampling. What is systematic sampling? It is a technique to select the sample systematically using certain predefined norm or criteria. For example, to select a sample of 6 students from class of 60 MBA student, researcher can decide any one digit out of 0 to 9. For example, 6 is selected and select roll number 6 as first sample. Repeating this example for 5 more time with non-replacement of select roll number would bring a sample of 6 students. So this is the example. Now stratified random sampling. What is stratified random sampling? It is a sampling method in which the researcher divides the population into smaller groups that doesn't develop but represent the entire population. While sampling, these groups can be organized and then draw a sample from each group separately. Each group is called strata. For example, in a study of selecting 6 students from a class of 60 MBA students, entire class can be divided into 4 strata based on their graduation study like BBA, BCom, BE and BC. Then after they one strata will be selected as a sample. So today we learn about probability sampling. With this note, we conclude our lecture. We'll see the question, what kind of question can be asked from this lecture. What is the meaning of sampling? Explain in examples. Explain with example. Define objective of sampling in detail. Then third can be asked, discuss types of sampling methods and what is probability sampling. Okay. With this note, we conclude our today's lecture. We'll meet and continue this lecture, this unit in second lecture. Till then, goodbye and take care. Thank you very much.
स्वाध्यायः